Have you heard of the movie Rudy? Maybe you've been to the Indy 500 or the Super Bowl. No black ice. It was an incredible event. But you don't know Indiana like we do. I'm Matt Hunkler. This is Mike Coffey, Mike Langler, Kevin Hitchin, and Dustin Sapp. And the reasons we decided to build our businesses in Indiana is because of the family values, the education, and ultimately the ecosystem of innovation that has really spawned a lot of the activity over the last few years. So I was lucky enough to go to one of the many awesome universities like Purdue, IU, Notre Dame, Ball State. They're located in Indiana. What's great about this is that it spawned all of these young talents to graduate, go on, start their businesses in Indiana, and start innovative companies through programs like the Orr Fellowship Program, which places recent graduates with companies like ExactTarget and Angie's List, which both IPO'd in the last 18 months. Innovative technology companies that are showing that other tech companies can locate in Indiana and succeed. Now, that's just a little bit of a snapshot of what's possible in Indiana, but I would like to I'd like Mike to be able to tell his story as someone who came from the coast.
So I originally had the opportunity in the last few years to actually move to Indiana from San Francisco. I didn't know what Indiana was. I actually started a tech company in San Francisco with about $2.5 million in funding to back it. Came out to Indiana within 45 days. I met these guys and was blown away with the ecosystem they had created, to be honest. Went back to my investors and my board and I said, shut down California because the cost of business is a 4-to-1 difference. And oh, by the way, did you know there's only 4 other ecosystems in the US other than Indianapolis that have created more Inc. 500 companies per capita? It's huge. Now the issue that we have is that a lot of people within Indiana don't understand their own stats. They don't understand the world that they live in. It's that whole grass is greener on the other side mentality instead of grass is greener where you water it. And these guys right here have spent the last 3 years really watering that ecosystem, and I'm honored to be able to stand up with them. So there's a couple things that we're going to focus on. Number one, we're going to focus on welcoming people home. So we're going to be working with universities on their alumni associations, going back out to the coast and say, hey, you left 10 years ago and you didn't know that this ecosystem exists. So welcome home. Come back and you're going to see a quality of life with family values. I got 2 kids. I look at the schooling. The schooling is phenomenal. The family values are phenomenal. And the innovation that we see simply with the IPOs that you talk about is excellent, right? So that's things to really wrap your arms around. The other thing that we're going to be doing is focusing on the events that educate both the investor and the entrepreneur. Because we live right now in Indiana from the medical side, and so for them to take investments out of the medical side into the technology side takes a lot of education. That's what we're going to be focusing on. And last, we're really going to be focusing on national platform. We've got a lot of humility. It's time for us to have a little pride and use Startup America to stretch that out. Thank you.